Welcome back to Factotum Life. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Today I am sitting in my 2011 Grand Caravan that I've been making oil change videos on over the past year, utilizing Valvoline Restore and Protect. During the last video that I made, mentioned that I was migrating away from Valvoline Restore and Protect 5W30. Now I am utilizing Valvoline Extended Protection 5W30. As promised, I'm going to be doing an oil change today, and I'm going to capture a sample. I'll send it off to Blackstone Labs for analysis. I'm not expecting to find too much that is groundbreaking on it. I will be paying attention to the viscosity of the used oil that is currently in this van compared to the Valvoline Restore and Protect. I know I did elicit a little bit of reaction from people when I mentioned that the reason why I was migrating was, over long term, the dropping out of viscosity range. I will send that oil off for analysis and see what we got. One quick note here I think is interesting. So we're at 261.042, and I believe I changed it at 255.5 something. In this situation, I believe we are down about 1 quart of oil. Which is when I would typically go ahead and change it. Promised, I am back with an oil sample report on our 2011 Grand Caravan with 261,000 miles. As a quick recap, I did several oil sample results regarding our 2011 Grand Caravan and utilizing the Valvoline Restore and Protect. And I did started off the videos explaining that I was going to be doing oil changes and sort of a look over the filter and see what we were capturing, with the theory that maybe I could potentially improve the oil consumption on this 2011 Grand Caravan. Now, at the time, I wasn't necessarily experiencing consistent oil consumption. There would be some services where the oil consumption was down as low as 3,000 miles, and I then had some consumption up to 5,000 miles, and it really coordinated with how the vehicle was being utilized. In my more recent oil change sample, where I went ahead and I tested the Valvoline Restore and Protect at the 244,000 mile mark, I theorized that because the oil was dropping out of viscosity, which would be right here. See if I can mark it without screwing stuff up. Go that way. So the viscosity was testing at 8.97 CST, and that was just slightly below the 5W30 minimum threshold. So the oil was really dropping into more of the 5W20, 0W20 range. I had opinion that at that time, if the oil is dropping out of viscosity range for a 5W30, it might be a good idea to just go ahead and change the oil. I pivoted to the Valvoline Extended Protection 5W30, and the reason why I did that was I knew the molybdenum counts were slightly higher, and having a higher mileage engine. Now, Valvoline Extended Protection also makes the high mileage formula, and this is not that oil. This is just straight up Valvoline Extended Protection 5W30. So as you can see here, the molybdenum count for the Valvoline Extended Protection is 273 compared to the Valvoline Restore and Protect of 189 and the Mobil 1 2018 oil at 78. That landed our iron counts for the most recent oil change with the Valvoline Extended Protection of 6 compared to 7 for the Valvoline Restore and Protect, and then 21 for the Mobil 1. Now, I'm going to stop short of saying the molybdenum, higher molybdenum counts directly correlates with the iron, because I've seen other oil samples where molybdenum counts were much higher in, say, like racing oil, where that racing oil did not necessarily correlate, or that higher molybdenum count did not directly correlate with lower iron counts. There's a bigger package going on here with the oil. that is above my pay grade. We're going to drop down here to the viscosity, and you can see the Valvoline Extended Protection tested out at 9.96, and they're showing 9.1 to 11.3 for unit averages for a 5W30. And so we were well within the 5W30 range for this oil. And I'm going to pull up the screenshot here of the dipstick. And as you can see here, I'm just above the hatch mark, right around the S for safe. So in reality here, I didn't use a full quart of oil in the 5,500 miles. I used maybe 7/8 of a quart, because that hatch mark area from full down to the hatch mark line is 1 quart of oil. My theory here is that not that Valvoline Restore and Protect is going to damage your engine because it's testing out on the little bit thinner side. All I'm saying is, in a combination with my high mileage engine, because it's not a new engine, a thinner oil is going to end up leading to higher oil consumption. Depending on what the feedback is, if anyone thinks that I should move forward with this idea, let me know. But utilizing a Pennzoil Platinum Ultra 0W40 with regards to the viscosity and the oil consumption, to see if that oil would actually provide a little bit more of mileage gain on the consumption. So if I was in the 5,500 to 6,000 miles for 1 quart of oil, could I get up to 7,000, or could it be 6,500 miles on 1 quart of oil consumption? I don't know. But if anyone's interested, let me know in the comment section, and I can, right now I have Valvoline Extended Protection 5W30 in the vehicle as a second round, but the next oil change, with enough planning, if there's enough interest, I could swap it out with the Pennzoil Platinum Ultra 0W40, and then follow that through until it's time for an oil change and do a test and come back here with a result of what it looks like. So let me know in the comment section what you think. So that about wraps up today. We are currently at 263,000 miles plugging along, and that's about it. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching.